I'm writing this at midnight on the 7th of January, 2021. If you haven't been either asleep, dead, or high during the past 48 hours, then you've probably heard about the attempted coup on our capital in Washington, D.C. What happened that day is something that I cannot even begin to explain my frustration, anger, and downright embarrassment to be in the same country as those people. The last time something of this magnitude happened was in the War of 1812, when the British... I mean, come on. I don't really have to explain how severe the situation is. The insurrection was an attack on our democracy, our institutions, and ourselves. Trump will, hopefully, go down in history as the most dangerous, undemocratic, and pathetic president we've ever had. Growing up in America, most of you have probably heard all of those patriotic messages of America being the greatest country ever. While I may have matured along with most, apparently not all of my peers, and taken a more realistic view about how many things there are to fix in our country, I know, at the very least, our country is better than what we have seen in the past few days, the past week, the past year, hell, the past 4 years. The past few days have given me the gut reaction of being extremely disappointed and just embarrassed to be an American, which is a stark and sad contrast of what many of us thought we were, and the standards you and I hold this country to account. I could sit here and talk for hours about how ridiculous it was that Trump incited a literal attempted coup on our democracy, how unprepared Washington, D.C. police were to deal with the situation, the disparity to how the police reacted to this versus how they reacted to the BLM protests, how just downright evil the president was to deny the National Guard to help our congressmen and women, and how at the end of it, 4 people dead, and for what? But I won't do that. The purpose of this video, as you might have gathered from the title, is to tell everyone to stay vigilant, to stay strong, to keep your head up, and to keep fighting as we move forward. During times like these, it may be easy to just lay down, to just count yourself out, to get, understandably, overwhelmed by the absolute ridiculousness of our situation. But now, more than ever, is when we can make actual change. A subtle reminder that we voted this out. We voted that this isn't going to happen again. We voted that this president and his dumb fuck supporters won't have an iron grip on our country anymore. Let's be proud of that. In addition, we also voted a few days ago that not only one, but both of the Democratic senators in Georgia be elected, giving Democrats control over the Senate. With this, that leaves the presidency, House, and Senate in control of Democrats. What does this mean? Does this mean that we could just be satisfied with this inherently meaningless defeat? No. This is the time to make progress. To pressure your senators, congressmen, local elected officials of what you want, because now we have the power to pass shit. Let's appreciate all of the work it took to get here. Let's shift out of our doomer mode and into our bloomer mode, okay? We unseated an incumbent president, something not often done. The most dangerous authoritarian president in contemporary American history. Not only that, the House was kept in majority and the Senate was flipped, and the deciding state was literally Georgia. If you told me last year that this would happen, that Georgia would be the one to push us over the edge, much less become a battleground state, I wouldn't have believed you. With this power, this is when things get done. This is when you push for real change. This is when progress is made. I know the situation is bleak, depressing, dire, and just disgusting, but don't let some Trump supporters take the wind out of your sails and forget the absolute strides that have been made as of late and the amount of work that is still to be done. This position has to be capitalized on, and it has to be held on to in the upcoming midterm next year. Canvass, educate yourself, protest, phone bank, get involved in county, city, town, even goddamn neighborhood politics. I apologize if this video is rambly, non-linear, incoherent, or all of the above. The state of mind that this was written in, and the fatigue that I'm feeling right now, is quite overwhelming. The most important thing to do is to just remember to keep fighting. It's not over yet. There is so much more work to do.